What is up, guys? Passport Graffiti back again with another video. This one is coming out a lot quicker than I normally would put one out, but there is some news that I wanted to get out to you guys. I know I'm probably a day or two late, but better late than never. So jumping into it, I'm going to be reviewing the video from a brother named DCbornrobs. As I said before, I pretty much rely on his channel for all things news in Medellin. Also because he does translate all the news, so it is in English. Good channel to follow if you are interested in keeping up on current events and things happening in Medellin. Once again, his channel's name is DCbornrobs. You type that into YouTube and it definitely will come up. We're just going to jump straight into this one. He's going to pretty much go over the news, and then I'll going to give my thoughts and not really reaction. I've already knew about this, but, you know, I'm going to say my 2 cents about it, basically. So let's jump into it.
To this story right away, because this is big news. 2 measures, which include the prohibition of the practice of prostitution for the next 6 months, aim to counteract the exploitation of girls, boys, and adolescents after finding a foreigner with 2 girls in a hotel that were in an area in Medellin. As promised during a press conference held last Sunday, March 31st, the mayor of Medellin, Federico Gutierrez, announced this Monday drastic measures to counteract the exploitation of girls, boys, and adolescents in the city. This Monday, the local president announced that his office decided to prohibit the demand or request for S services or related activities in Comuna 14, El Poblado, for 6 months. Specifically, Gutierrez ordered the temporary suspension of the demand or request for S services and related activities, as well as their promotion and advertising it.
So what this means basically is that for 6 months in the Parque Yetis area specifically, they're not, or he's not banning prostitution from Medellin. He's just basically suspending it from the Parque Yetis area. And if you've been to Medellin, you know there's Provenza, and a little bit down is the Parque Yetis area. And this is generally the main area where you go for all the prostitutes. Now, on some of the side streets, you can find normal clubs where you'll find local Colombians that go to party, but the main general square where Parque Yetis is, this is pretty much the primary location of all the S workers. Now, it's not saying that you can't go to other establishments and find S workers. That is just that main area where they're all out on the street. They're basically cutting all that out for 6 months.
Any format in the public space of the area. The order indicates that the corrective measures should not be taken against people in prostitution, since for the district, those who survive with this practice are in conditions of extreme vulnerability. So on the contrary, if they are affected by these measures, they will be able to receive and request information for institutional support. The measure taken by the mayor's office of Medellin covers a polygon that extends to the surroundings of El Poblado Park, Provenza, Parque Yetis, La Presidential Park, and surrounding residential areas as well. Likewise, the president announced that a temporary pilot to modify operating hours will be applied to commercial, rumba, and entertainment venues that operate in the Parque Yetis area.
So rumba is basically another word for club or party here in Medellin. And basically what they're saying, at least from what I've read, is that they're going to put a 1 o'clock or 1 a.m. ban in the Parque Yetis area, not so much Provenza. Provenza is normal. And in the Provenza area, they do have monitors who walk around to make sure there are no S workers hanging around that area. Now, it's extremely hard to tell because, you know, they do kind of blend in with the normal people there. But I have seen times where, or one specific example, I was sitting down eating across from a couple of girls who were from Dominican Republic. We were talking, and there was one of these S workers, I guess, kind of stranded as a straggler, kind of made her way up there, sat at their table, and they had a monitor come and swoop her up real quick and pull her out because she kept, kind of randomly trying to talk to guys. So they do have monitors that monitor that general Provenza area. So this is more so pertaining to the Parque Lleras area. Now, my thought is that most of these girls that work these areas, they're going to start working inside the clubs, or they're just going to try to find other locations like strip clubs and stuff like this to more than likely work in. Now, you can still go outside of the Parque Lleras area and still find these services if that's what you're coming out here for. But definitely in that general square area is going to be shut down.
For this reason, their permission to work until the wee hours of the morning will be revoked, and they will only be able to keep their doors open until 1 a.m., initially for a month. These measures and other provisions will be made officially through decrees 0247, 0248 of 24 that the district recently published. These decisions made by Gutierrez arise as a result of the serious problem of exploitation of young ones that occur in the city, especially in this exclusive and tourist sector, a situation that reached its peak this week when a U.S. citizen was found inside a hotel with two girls who were extremely underage. According to the decrees, in the area, there were 4 criminal structures that, apart from other crimes, also extort people in prostitution and exploit minors for and commercial exploitation. Likewise, the comuna has seen growth in the number of cases of criminal practices that are offered as tourist products. According to the decrees in 2024, there were 240 victims of exploitation of young ones in the area, while in 2022, there were only 198. And in 2021, there were 298 cases. In 2024, there are already 39 cases. Even so, it is worth remembering that despite this, the mayor's office at this time only reported the capture of 1 foreigner accused of committing these crimes. In addition,
all right, so I'm gonna stop the video there. I'll put the link in my bio in the description if you guys want to watch that full video in its entirety. I just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. My thoughts on this, I mean, it's about time. Medellin is pretty much very well known for prostitution, probably more than any other city in Colombia. And I don't think that they're going to stop prostitution. It's no way they can they're going to make it illegal. Too many people depend on it. Too many people survive on it. I don't want to necessarily say it's part of the Medellin culture or just Colombian culture, but it is one of the oldest professions. It's something that will never stop. Men are always going to be in search of that. So I think they're just going to try to scale it down and clean up that Lleras Park area, because Provenza is pretty much kind of like, unfortunately to say, sort of the crown jewel of Medellin because of Karol G and it being mentioned so much in songs. It's the popular place to go party. It's where all the tourists, come to see. So I think that they're really going to try to clean that area up, essentially how it used to be before all the prostitution came to it. And you're just going to see the prostitution probably go a little bit more outside of the city, or I won't necessarily say city. I'm going to say more so out of the El Poblado area. So you're going to have to, if that's what you're coming here for, you're going to have to start finding establishments to go to find those type of services, which in my opinion is better anyways than just picking up streetwalkers and girls off the street versus being in some type of establishment where, there's cameras, it's a little bit more regulated and definitely a lot more safe. So that's it. That's my thoughts on it. I just wanted to get that out there, that there is now going to be this ban on prostitution in that Parque Lleras area. So, unfortunately, if you are one of those guys that are coming out here for that only or for that specifically, then you're going to have to make other plans. That's it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and until the next one, peace.